Oh, coffee. Hello there everybody. Swandzz here today to make a video. This is a little bit different than videos I've made in the past because it's a review for an art product. I know I don't tend to do that, but I should because I use a lot of art products and other people want to know about the quality of said art products. So here we are. What gave me the idea to make a review for this product is simply the fact that I have never purchased this product because I didn't know how it worked. Usually when I see more expensive art supplies, whether they're very expensive or marginally expensive or just different from what I usually buy, I'm hesitant to try it out because I get kind of set in my ways. I do use a lot of acrylic paint. I don't use a lot of oil paint. I recently wanted to start trying to maybe find a nicer acrylic paint that had more texture or the ability to hold texture, because as you know, with very fast drying acrylic paints that are cheap, I mean, they work for what I need them for, but they don't really hold texture. When they dry, they shrink up a lot and all of that. So I already had it in my mind that I was wanting to maybe try something a little nicer so that I could get some more texture in like my palette knife paintings and things like that. Well, I give you the Arteza brand acrylic paints, premium acrylic paints, and there are 60 tubes in here and they are each 22 milliliters, I think is what that means. So I received this as a gift for Christmas, which is why I didn't have to step out of my comfort zone to buy it, because someone else did it for me. Thank you. As I was saying, I have seen this product or products by Arteza like in ads on Instagram and stuff a lot. And I just, I always wondered what the quality was like, but I had never used any of their stuff. So now I can let you guys know what I think of this paint. So let's just jump right into it. On the back of the box here, you can see all of the colors that are in here. There are ones with different varying levels of transparency. There are some that are mumetallic. So it's a really good array of colors. They've got some Bob Ross colors in here like titanium white and phthalo blue. So when I saw those, I was like, I know those colors. Those are Bob Ross colors. Like, I know those. So this box is, I think, about $60. It's like $58. So that would make it about $1 per tube of paint if you want to look at it like that, which is not bad, especially for paint that is what I feel is pretty high quality. So one thing I really liked about it was that it held texture really well, just like I was saying I was looking for. So it held texture well and it didn't dry as quickly as typical acrylic paint. The quick drying thing has its advantages for sure. And there's definitely going to be moments in time where that is what I want. But for the sake of building texture and easily blending colors, the fact that these don't dry immediately is actually really nice. And that was something I initially kind of had to get used to. With acrylic paint, I'm used to it drying pretty quickly, so you can immediately go back and add more layers. But with this, you kind of have to wait, for those layers to set and go work at a different part of the painting and then come back to it. Let's open her up. It's a really nice box also. And all of the paints are just stacked. All of the paints are just stacked up like so. And there are, as we mentioned, 60 different colors. They're no longer in order because I've used them, okay? So I'm gonna show you guys the things that I've painted with this, and yeah. The first thing we have is a set of coasters, and you guys know that I enjoy making these. This is one of my art products that I like to make. So I did a set of bug coasters, and I used the new Arteza acrylic paint to do so. And here's my favorite one out of the bunch. It's a little bumblebee. Look at this handsome bee. That's handsome. Wow. I used gold for the wings, so there's an actual gold paint in here, and there's a little in the background as well, because I wanted to try out, all the different freaking paints that are in there. So One thing I did notice with this paint is that it spreads really well when you get it a little bit diluted with water. So it's very concentrated, which I think is a good thing. Similar to like what you would expect from a tubed watercolor paint. But you know, that's good because there's not that much paint in each tube, which means a little goes a long way. Then we have a ghost cicada. And there's some silver in his wings. I'm not sure if you can see it. I did varnish these, obviously, with a very heavy coat of varnish. So you can't see the texture too well at this point, but I have a painting back here that has not been varnished at all, so. Butterfly. And look at those beautiful colors. They're very, very vibrant. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm one of those artists who was taught at a young age that you should never use paint straight out of the tube. I don't know why, but I was taught that you should always mix and make your own colors. And though I feel that to an extent that is true, because it's good to know how to make your own colors in any given moment, it's also nice to use hot pink, okay? I don't know how to make hot pink. No, there are certain colors that are very fluorescent and just not super easy to mix, you know? They're pretty artificial colors. So having this whole set of all these beautiful colors has been so much fun for me because typically, I know it's gonna be hard to believe, I only buy primary colors. Typically, I buy red, blue, and yellow, white, and black, and I force myself to mix them together. So, you know, this has been really nice for me. And the last one here is a June bug, June beetle. Yeah. So this set of coasters will also be available if anyone's interested. You can go on my Instagram and that's where I sell everything. Okay, the next thing I have is I made this little kitchen wall art. Now, I was at Walmart and I saw this little jar cut out and I was like, wouldn't that be so cute to put something in the jar, right? To paint something inside the jar. And I've been on a bug kick and it started with this because I was like, I want to do like orange marmalade, but I want something to be like floating in the jelly. And I just thought a bee would be adorable. A bee would be adorable. So as you can see, there's a lot of texture in like the white of the oranges and such. This paint lends really, really well to like that painterly aesthetic. And that is something that I've been trying to embrace more. So when I initially started painting, I was, you know, kind of just doing whatever. I was winging it. And then I got into a realism kick. Like, here's my Post Malone painting back here, as you can see. I got into a realism kick, and I'm not saying that I was super good at it or anything. I'm just saying that I felt what made a painting good was how technically good it was. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to still have emotion and stuff in the painting, but I wanted it to be technically good. And now I'm kind of coming out. Now that I feel like I'm pretty confident in my abilities with realism, obviously I'll get better the more I practice. But now it's like I can start to not make all of my lines just so. And I feel like the reason why I sort of developed that very particular way of painting is because a lot of the realism I've done has been digital art. And I was just very precise with the different brushes I used, and all of the lines were like perfectly placed. And it kind of has a more artificial feel when you do it that way. It loses some of that painterly texture and essence. And I really want to bring that back into my artwork and not make it so photo perfect. Or does that make sense, guys? I'm not a Xerox, you know, I'm a person. So one thing I really liked about this paint is that it just makes it so easy to get that painterly texture, you know? And part of the reason why is because it doesn't dry quickly. So it's easy to build, you know, to blend the colors and to build layers. I've had a really nice experience with this paint so far. The last thing I have to show you is this painting. Now, this does not have any sort of varnish at all. I also don't know if I'm done with it. It's important to note that it doesn't have varnish because look at that shine. It's So this is a very glossy paint, and it has a very nice finish to it, even without being varnished at all. So I've used paints in the past, especially, you know, cheaper acrylic paints, that they just dry completely matte and they don't look good, you know? I don't know how to explain it. But you don't have that problem with this paint. So even if you didn't varnish it, it still has a very nice finish. And as you can see, this is silver that I put in the sky. So that's why it's even more reflective. This is quiet time. We're quietly appreciating the paint. I should do paint ASMR. Can you guys even hear me? So as you see, I've got some jellyfish in the sky. And it was kind of inspired by like the Aurora Borealis pictures where you get like the upward angle of the trees and everything. So I wanted to try and do something like that, especially because I had all of these colors to use at my disposal and I wanted to do something with a lot of colors. If I were to redo this painting, I would make the background behind these trees even brighter. And that is one thing, I'm not sure if it's just the paint dried darker than I thought it would or what, but that is one thing I will note, that I felt like I made it plenty bright, and then when I put the trees over top of it, they just did not pop as much as I wanted them to, but you know, it's still a pretty good painting. Like I said, I'm really not sure if I'm finished with it or what. So in conclusion, with my limited experience and limited knowledge in art and paint, I give this paint like 5 out of 5, seriously. I like it a lot, and I will probably buy more when it runs out, or at least bigger tubes of the colors that I really enjoyed. The next thing I'm gonna try and do is maybe a big painting, a large painting with just this Arteza paint, and then just see what kind of texture I can get out of it when I'm actually really trying to get texture. And of course, if you guys are interested in seeing how that turns out, you can let me know in the comments below and I can document it for you. So I highly recommend this paint. It was not by any means a waste of money, even though I didn't pay for it, but it was a very good present, and I thank my friend very, very much, because now I was able to A, make this video for people like me who want to see a review of art products, and B, I have a cool art product now that I get to use to make art with. Confetti time. Confetti. Okay, coffee spill? No, we're good. Now I'm going to take a moment to thank my patrons. Thank you guys so much for all of your love and support. And I know I've said this a million times, but especially through last year, it has just been crazy, crazy, crazy. And in January 3rd, so just passed yesterday, 2 days ago, marks my 4-year anniversary as a freelance artist. So I'm gonna make an update video about what that's been like also, but I just wanna say that it would have been so much harder to make it through, you know, this transition if I didn't have people like those of you on my Patreon who support me, and I just appreciate it very, very much. Thank you guys. Now I will verbally thank my diamond tier patron. Thank you very much, Sarah. Your love is chef's kiss. And I will catch you guys all in the next one. Toodles! Okay, you can click all of my little buttons. You can click my subscribe to circle or the video or playlist that is listed. You will also find that link to my Patreon, where you can support me for as little as $1 a month. This is coffee, because I literally just woke up like 30 minutes ago, and that's why I can't speak. Love you guys, bye! What did I draw?